So welcome everyone who has showed up tonight or watching this video to one of our most recent regeneration support team calls. We're really excited. We've got lots of great information for you tonight. We have a lot of fun with this, putting these things together because we just love Sunrider and we like talking about it and we like telling you just how great it is. And with me tonight is Barb Rowe, Jim Pendry, Diana Walker, Ann Humble, and myself, Randy Fritz. And hopefully they will maybe introduce themselves a little bit, maybe tell you something recently in their experience or in the past. But we're going to, tonight, what we're going to do is something we tried out before, and it turned out really, really well. We're going to go through a number of Sunrider products and compare them to, there's not really comparable products, but we try to find comparable products on the market and show you how much Sunrider is superior in every way. Because if you want to watch the website, the YouTube for Sunrider, you'll see them explain how the quality that goes into the formulations, the concentration, the amazing manufacturing plant, and the proven benefits that it's been going now for how many years? Is it 30? How many years?
33, going on.
33 years,
33.
Yes. So it's not like, oh, I wonder if this will work. It works. It's been proven to work for 33 years. And if you try it yourself and give it a good enough try, you'll find that it does work for you. So we're going to begin with Barb's going to talk about Vitafruit.
Vitafruit, yes, and that's what I think kind of has a nickname, the happy juice. And I know that when it first came out, I remember, getting it and just drinking it and feeling just so fabulous. And so, it's replaced all of the other juices from in our home that we used to buy, the dead juices, the canned, there was just no nutrition in it, basically sugar and flavoring, and that was about it. So the Vitafruit, it contains a lot of very exotic herbs, and it's extremely high in antioxidants. I think you can go to the next slide, Randy.
Okay.
Yes, and it's very rich in vitamin C and A and iron. In fact, it has 15 times more vitamin C than an orange does. So, and it's very good for tissue repair and helps with the skin, helps hydrate the cells, and supports a really healthy skin health, and loaded with amino acids, essential fatty acids, flavonoids, carotenoids, and so it's just got basically everything that your body needs. And I think if you just, try it out, and you'd see for yourself the benefits that it definitely gives. And I think, Anne, you have a story on Vitafruit.
I do. It's one of my favorites, and I did share it on one of our previous calls, but I've been asked to share it again. And, what happened was this was a number of years ago, and we had a family reunion to go to, and about 3 days prior, I became very ill, flat out ill, with a flu bug of some kind. And I don't normally get very sick, but this one hit me really hard. And I was bound and determined that I was going to somehow get to this family reunion. And I had heard of other Sunriders who had really had similar situations and just pumped up their consumption of Vitafruit. So I did that. And as each day went by, I was getting better, but I was still pretty sick. And the day that we went, we got there, and I was upright finally, but I still wasn't feeling very good. But when we arrived, everyone that I met just raved about how wonderful I looked. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good, even though I'm suffering from the flu. And I happened to walk by a mirror, and I actually did a double take, and I thought, my goodness, I've never looked this good before in my life. and it just person after person just commented on how wonderful I looked, and so within 3 days of doing a probably 4 to 6 tablespoons of Vitafruit a day just to get myself back out of the bed, and it was just a wonderful. It did get me out of bed, but better yet, I got a facelift.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'll just say, has anybody ever gotten a facelift by drinking apple juice? This doesn't happen.
Way.
You look at the ingredients, the Sunrider ingredients compared to juice ingredients, and there's just no comparison.
Well, years ago, like Dr. Chen used to do a video every month that he would send out. This is going way back, probably 20 years or close to it. And Chin had picked up a parasite in Malaysia, and he was really sick from that. It was really hard on him, and we were a little bit worried about him. And then all of a sudden, there was a video come out, and he looked amazing. Like his skin had a shine to it like you'd never seen before. And we're wondering, what the heck? And that's when he developed Vitafruit.
Oh, wonderful. So we have that confirmed.
Yeah. And it's actually part of his recovery.
Right,
was,
okay.
The invention of Vitafruit.
Okay, so another product that a lot of Sunriders just love is SunSmile Fruit and Veggie Rinse. And you were going to talk about this.
Yes. You know, the fruit and veggie rinse, so many of us would never be without this in our house. It's got so many uses, but when we decided to have this call, I was asked to do this comparison, and I happen to be in the United States, so you'll probably notice these products you might not be able to find them here in Canada, but this is what I did to do my best. And I picked up a couple of other washes to do a comparison, and you can see on the left there's one from Trader Joe's and one from the Sprouts Grocery. It's a chain in California. Might be in some other states too, I'm not sure. They have one called Natural Veggie Rinse, and then, of course, ours on the right-hand side. And it took me a little bit of time to do this comparison because the way to mix it and so on, the concentrations are a little bit different, so I had to make sure that my calculations were correct. But both of the items on the one from Trader Joe's and the Sprouts one required about 4 times as much, about a quarter a cup, to make a gallon of solution to wash your fruits and vegetables in, versus our 2 teaspoons. So there's quite a difference in the concentration right there off the bat. And so per use, those numbers that you see at the bottom there are per use for a gallon of solution. And as you can see, the Sunrider by far beats them cost-wise, and if ours at retail even is less expensive at 47 cents, and if you have an IBO membership, it comes down to 38 cents. Now, this is in U.S. dollars, unfortunately, but you can do your comparison in Canadian dollars if you like. So, and this product, we were talking about this when we were preparing, and I had forgotten this. Dr. Chen he's so far ahead of everybody else in the industry, and way back when I don't know exactly when he came up with the fruit and vegetable rinse, but it was partly because he was concerned about our health and his workers' health, and he was, in order to keep the standards that the FDA wants all their food production done at, he was having to use very harsh chemicals, and he didn't want to do that. And so fruit and vegetable rinse is the product that he developed to use to clean our manufacturing facilities. And if you haven't already heard this, you might be interested to know that our facilities have been approved, or I'm not sure the word that I want to use here, but they are actually certified to produce at a pharmaceutical level. And so that product is amazing.
And I heard that the FDA even brought in trainees to look at how the high quality of Dr. Chan's Sunrider facilities when they were training FDA agents, apparently.
Wow, that's amazing, hey? That's amazing. And somebody can correct me on this too. I should have researched it, but it's coming back to me now. There was something about the California agricultural. There was a section of the agricultural community or something that had decided they approved the fruit and vegetable rinse for use on the crops down there. And if you know anything about California, they are crazy paranoid about toxicity and all this kind of stuff. So this is pretty high praise. And it's got so many uses. That's the other thing that you're not just buying a fruit and vegetable wash. We all use it for so many different things. It safeguards against E. coli, salmonella. It also destroys the wax and eggs, cysts and larvae of intestinal parasites. I use it to clean my countertops and cutting boards and other surfaces. I just spritz it. I just put a little bit full strength right onto my cutting board and then just add a little bit of water and swish it around and let it air dry. You can spritz it on your plants to get rid of the pests. Safe on your skin. Use it for head lice and douching, and you can add it to your shampoo. This head lice thing actually came back to me. I was just recently at a trade show. There was a booth where the company, their whole line of products was specifically for head lice. And I thought, wow, we've got one product that does that and a whole bunch of other things. So that was pretty cool. Again, another favorite thing for me to do here in the house is 2 to 3 drops of fruit and veggie rinse with 2 to 3 drops of Sunbreeze in a spray bottle with some water, and I just spritz it around the house, and it makes the house smell wonderful, and it's a good disinfecting air freshener. The other thing that I found in our house, before fruit and veggie rinse, I was often throwing out fruits and vegetables because they would spoil before we got to eat them. That doesn't happen anymore because they last 2 to 3 times longer, maybe even more in the refrigerator. So that saves you money right there. And a lot of us have either met or know of people who've used it for all kinds of things, fungal infections, of the toenails, the feet, fingernails, that kind of thing, and the list goes on. So
it's an amazing product. It really is amazing.
Yeah.
So Barb, I think you had a story.
Yes, I do. I've used it for everything that's up there and more, but I specifically have a story that I got a puppy for Christmas one year and didn't realize that the puppy came with worms. And so about a week after I got the puppy, it started losing weight, and I thought for sure it was going to die, like it was so sick. And then we noticed it had passed a great big long, like a 4-inch, some kind of a worm, wire worm or something. And so we gave it fruit and vegetable rinse that night, and then we took this worm into the vet to see, what it was about. And he said, oh yeah, and it was going to cost us something like $60 for this deworming stuff. But we decided we would just give it another dose of fruit and vegetable rinse, and 2 doses, and that puppy was no more worms, and it was back on its feet. So saved us big money.
Yeah, great. Okay, so a happy puppy story. We should have had a picture of a puppy up there.
I know a lot of people, they just don't understand the depth to this product, because you can literally use it anywhere on your body and inside your body, and you can use it for stinky garbage cans and cutting boards like you mentioned, and head lice, and really, it's just so amazing. Any chemicals like gasoline or whatever, use that, it'll neutralize all those chemicals. It's an unbelievable product, how diverse it is.
Yeah, it's great for taking away smelly things. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and so another product, Diana is going to do this. She gets to do the Vitashake.
Yay! And I hope we get it in Canada soon. But for all those U.S. listeners, you can buy boxes and boxes of it. So the Vitashake is on the right of our screen, and it works out to $2.10 for one shake. That is the IBO price in the States. And it has wonderful herbal ingredients like koi fruit, foxnut, lotus seed, lotus root, water lily bulb. These ingredients are also in New Plus, which many of you are familiar with, and they help with energy. And also in the Vitashake is fiber, which is FOS, and I can't say the whole word, fructo-oligosaccharides from chicory root. It's a little bit hard to say, but it's a probiotic which helps with digestion. And you have fiber in the Vitashake, and you have multiple, about 44 vitamins and minerals that are very absorbable. And they're not synthetic. The body absorbs them. So this is a real complete meal replacement, and very easy and delicious. Actually, we didn't put the flavors, which are chocolate or strawberry. So those are the two flavors that Vitashake comes in, which is a Sunrider product. Now, I'm comparing them to Boost or Ensure, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, and those products cost about $1.50 to $2 per serving in the States. And guess what? The first ingredient is water. Second ingredient, corn syrup. Third ingredient, sugar. And fourth ingredient, milk protein concentrate. So, and that's about 200 calories, whereas the Vitashake is 95 calories. So when you compare that, you're just getting junk food. You're getting, unbelievable. Like when I went online to see the ingredients and seeing water, corn syrup, sugar, and milk protein concentrate as the first four ingredients, and they feed these to the elderly in hospitals, and also recommend them for anybody recovering from surgery, etc. When I worked in the hospital, I saw them in the shelves, just boxes and boxes of Ensure at that time. That was like 15 years ago, and I felt so sad then, because I was already a Sunrider and knew that everyone would do much, much better with New Plus, which is in the Vitashake. Now, the other thing we're comparing it to is the whey protein, and that is just in just about everything that that a person can buy these days, even in non-health products, because it is just a side product when you're making cheese. So there's the curds and whey, and the whey used to be just usually thrown out, but the industry is so smart to do the marketing and to have everybody using the whey protein, which is isolated. It's not something we would normally be getting in an isolated form, so the body can't absorb it as well. Could you go to the next screen, Randy?
Sure.
Sure, thank you. So to summarize the Vitashake, it's a meal replacement. It's whole food and plant-based, and it has vitamins and minerals that are easily absorbed, and the FOS for your digestion from the chicory root. It is nutrient dense. There's no empty calories in there, and no bad stuff. In other words, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors or preservatives, and it's only 95 calories. So it's definitely your better choice. And another story I have, just a really quick story, is my son, I visit him once a year. He lives in the Caribbean, so I'm so fortunate. And he's very fit, very, very fit. Like, that's a high priority for him. But he was starting to gain a little bit of weight, and he was working out like crazy. And he said to me, "Mom, do you have something that would help?" And he says, "I've been taking all this whey protein, and it's supposed to be giving me more muscle, but it's not." And so I said, well, try the Vitashake. And luckily I'd brought a whole bunch with me. And he lost 10 pounds within the next month by going, and he just got so trim and chiseled, like it really, really made the difference. And all his friends, he was going around telling them, get off that whey powder because look what it did to me, and get on Vitashake if they can. It was hard to import it there, but anyway, so that's my one of my Vitashake stories.
Well, thank you, Diana. I think, Jim, you were going to you have a short update on the Vitashake or the New Plus situation.
Well, when the Natural Health Product Bill came into Canada, I'm not sure how long ago that was now, 5 years ago or so, the FDA or Health Canada went and reanalyzed every health product in Canada, like vitamins, medicinal herbs, food, plants, everything. And so there was a few products that they didn't understand, and they didn't understand the ingredients, so like Ease and Sunbreeze Oil and New Plus. So we lost them out of Canada for a while. We were able to order them directly from the U.S., and we've got them all back now except for New Plus. And we never did have Vitashake because Vitashake has some natural vitamin K in it. And so Sunrider, not Sunrider, but Health Canada, finally they had to create a new category for food products like Sunriders. And so once that happened, they reapplied, and that's where we've been getting them all in. And we're just down to the New Plus and the Vitashake now. And the vitamin K doesn't seem to be an issue anymore, but it was just some of like koi seed. That was the last issue. And it's this plant that's widely used in Japan and many countries. It's anti-cancerous. There's so many benefits to it. But Summer had to prove to them that it was food and that it was safe. So that was done as of last fall, from what we understand, and they're just waiting for approval any day. And the any day has been going on for a long, long time. So it could happen any time we could get that product in here. We're really hoping it's soon.
Okay. Okay, we'll all keep our fingers crossed. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, Jim, you have the next product.
Well, this comparison here, we're just going to kind of like speak off the cuff, and some people may not be comfortable with the conversation, but it's something that's natural that everybody, I guess sex is a thing that everybody does. And so I just thought it would be good to speak about it because most people are interested, but they're afraid to ask. I've had several older men, come over and ask me, Jim, is there something that Sunrider has that would improve my sex life? And so I get them on Veros. And so I thought, let's do a little comparison here. And I have several friends that I have had these conversations with, and I've used Veros myself. I've been actually on and off it for a few years. So we're always seeing commercials on TV with Cialis and Viagra, and just a little background of those is they actually force the body to hold blood in a certain area so a man can keep his erection longer, and it's something that happens naturally in the body when all the hormones and the elements line up, but this forces it to happen, which is very unhealthy. And there's a lot of side effects to it. Of course, heart attack is one, but there's also side effects of what it does to the blood vessels. And many people get really bad acid reflux also from them, especially Cialis. So they're not that much fun to use. And as I was mentioning yesterday when I was talking to Randy and Diana in the group, was that when men get older, they tend to get less sensitive. So when they're young, they're quite sensitive, and sexual activities can really arouse men. And when they get older, they get less sensitive. Well, when they use a product like the Viagra or Cialis, it takes away even more of their sensitivity. So the joke is that these products can kind of give man an erection like a bicycle stand, right? But it's not really fun. So Viagra, on the other hand, is like Chin talked about, trying to create a product that would help a man's sex life for years. In the board meetings, he would discuss this issue, and he was frustrated as he was trying to make it happen because he said the only way you can do it is to make a man younger. And finally he mastered it, and that's where we've seen Veros for men and Bella for women. And they basically reverse the age internally, liver, bone density, muscle density, circulation, several things that these Bella and the do, improvement of your whole hormonal system. So there's just so many benefits to Veros, and you may want to switch the slide here, Randy. I just mentioned that here's some of the benefits of the Veros. Now I know that my eyes in the last I figured it out that it's been about a month and a half now. I hadn't used it for probably a year, but my eyes have definitely improved by using it because it increases circulation. And Barb was talking about her husband Don, and his back issues got a lot better. He had some. I should let her tell the story, but Veros, there's just so many benefits to it, and it doesn't take away sensitivity. It just improves circulation, and it just makes your body work better in many, many areas. And I'd also found that Beauty Pearl actually increases the mood. So as I mentioned, men become less sensitive as they get older, but Beauty Pearl actually puts a man more in the mood as it does a woman. So it kind of reverses the signs of aging, or the symptoms of aging, I guess, as far as sexuality and happiness. And I guess it's just, if we were to think about a man who's very focused on business, and well, he's probably not going to be in the mood. It's hard to put a different hat on all of a sudden. Where if the wife was sneaking Beauty Pearl into his little regimen every day, all of a sudden he might be a bit more happy-go-lucky and relaxed and whatnot. Well, that's kind of what Beauty Pearl does to you, and of course, it improves your body.
Well, it sounds wonderful. So I think Barb, you have a story about your husband.
Yeah. He actually had a fall. He was carrying a furnace down the stairs, and he fell with it, and it fell on his back and injured his back. And so he always had problems with his back, and he'd have to have massages every week. And if he ever didn't, and his back went out, it would literally spasm, and he'd be in the hospital and off work for a couple of weeks. So it was very expensive, not being able to work. So when Dr. Chen came out with the Veros, he thought, okay, I'm going to give this a try. So, Don, it's either all the way or none at all. So I think he was taking like 6 every time, like 2 or 3 times a day. And within a matter of a week, 10 days, his back problem was gone, and he's never had a problem since.
Yeah.
So
wow,
really,
that's fantastic.
Barb, how many was he taking a day?
Well, I think, let me ask him. Don, how many Veros were you taking with your back? He just walked in the door, so I'm going to ask him. But I know he was taking like 6 of them at a time. How many Veros?
Now, normally, men take 2 to 3 a day. That's kind of the norm.
Yeah.
Okay.
With my husband, it's either he's doing nothing or he's doing it like overboard. But
so everyone should try that out. See what happens if you take 18 a day or whatever. What Don was doing.
Yeah, crazy.
We'll see what happens.
Now, if we have a minute, I'd like to just say something else here. Is that
okay?
I've been researching. We have a product called Meta Booster, and I know most people because there's this fitness person on the side of the bottle. I think a lot of people think you have to be an athlete to take it, but it has so many benefits also of increased circulation, and it helps the body. As we get older, like we all produce a hormone called growth hormone, and women actually produce more of it than men do. But men have testosterone, which makes us more muscular, and women don't have as much of testosterone, so they don't get as much as muscular. But they also have a lot of this growth hormone that they produce. And as we get older, we quit producing this hormone as much. It gets less and less and less after age 40. And that also can show up with having problems in the bedroom. And so Meta Booster increases circulation. It does. It helps the body heal from free radicals. It helps the body produce more of the growth hormone. It's good for immunity. helps with like things like cold sores. It just goes on and on and on. It's like a complete whole body tonic that has so many benefits to it. So it could also improve in this area. It's something that I believe everybody should take. Mental clarity is another thing that really stands out for when you look up the ingredients of it. So, anyways, I'll shut up.
Okay, thanks, Jim. We'll go on from here. Someone had a question. Can you drink Vitashake before bed in the evening?
Yes.
Okay, is that
absolutely?
Yeah, you certainly.
Okay.
Can.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't imagine why you shouldn't be able to.
No.
Okay, so we wanted to talk a little bit, have an update of from Barb, I guess, about the SunFit program and the Fitness Brigade. How many people out there exercised today, did their Fitness Brigade? I only asked that because I actually did too. So
way to go,
I wouldn't have asked it.
Way to go.
Well done. I did Aquafit. That counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Well, we'll give you half a point for that, Diane.
Okay.
I'm really having a lot of fun with it, and I am having amazing results. So, I mean, just things are changing all the time, and it's just unbelievable. I've now lost 13 pounds and about 23.5 inches overall body. But just the way I feel, the energy, the mental clarity, the flexibility, everything is just so improved. But what's really interesting is, so when I started my fitness program last September, I did a vitality analysis, and my results came back with 500 with peaks at 1,100. Now, just in April here, I did my vitality analysis testing again, and it came back with 3,300 with peaks at 6,000. The only thing different I'm doing is the Fitness Brigade.
Wow.
So I am just a real advocate of it, and everybody I sponsor now starts on the fitness program.
That's amazing. And one more thing that it says when all this research I was doing is that high-impact exercise also helps your body produce this growth hormone.
Okay, great.
Interesting.
And the exercise from this program, I was amazed by it. I thought, no, it'll never be as good as my P90X program, blah, 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 blah. Finally, I started doing it, and I'm like, man, this is a fabulous workout. It really is great.
Yep.
And we just wanted to brag. There's several of us went to the fitness training in Regina in January, and they had the biggest training turnout of anywhere in North America. So we know that there's many Canadians listening or watching to this. So we just want to brag a little bit. And
that's awesome.
That's Anne's hometown, but Barb had a lot of people there, and one of them, I was there too, doing the exercises. Okay, so this is the end of our conference call. The next one will be Thursday, June the 18th, and it'll be similar to this. We'll be comparing products. So we'd encourage you to bring someone along, invite a friend to these things, because there's really good information. Okay, now Trish says today is her 1-year anniversary of doing Fitness Brigade, and she loves it. She's been doing it a whole year. I'm sure she's feeling really, really good. And someone asked if we can get Ruben Chen to come to Regina again soon. And I think we probably can.
Yeah.
So is there any other concluding remarks? I'll just thank everyone again for watching or visiting tonight, and we hope to see you again.
And our next call is scheduled for?
Thursday, June the 18th.
Hi, Randy. It's Tricia. Anne just reminded me of that story about the fruit and vegetable rinse. We heard it on a cruise many years ago. The fellow that told it is a peach farmer, or was a peach farmer in California, and they use a machine called a hydro cooler. So after they pick the fruit, they have to put their fruit in this hydro cooler. It's filled with cold water and usually chlorine bleach. And what that does is it cools the fruit down quickly to preserve it, but it also helps kill off any bacteria or bugs or parasites or whatever's in the fruit. And this peach farmer, wanting to be very organic and keep his fruit free of any chemical, he was a Sunrider, and he asked Dr. Chen if he thought the fruit and vegetable rinse would work well in the hydro cooler, and Dr. Chen said absolutely, it'll work a heck of a lot better than the chlorine bleach. And that's when they approached the government of California, and it was okayed. So that's what they were using in the hydro coolers. So, you know, was able to keep away the chemicals. And another thing, the comparison with those whey protein, there's a group of chiropractors here in Winnipeg who sell some products that are not particularly good, and they have a whey protein that's $3.33 a serving. So just incredibly expensive. One of our Sunrider's grandson was taking it and actually ended up having to have his gallbladder removed because he had developed polyps interfering with the gallbladder function. And so, you know, spent a heck of a lot of money to really damage his health. And these chiropractors are pushing it like crazy. But so it's just so good to have the amazing New Plus and Vitashake that gives you so much benefits and no downside.
Wow, thanks for that, Trish. Yeah.
Yes, thanks for the refresher on that. And when I'm down in California, I'm going to be talking to some people because we're right in the agricultural center down there where we're located, and I hate seeing what they're doing to the plants. It's crazy.
Okay, well then we will thank everyone again and say goodbye for the evening, and we'll see you in June.
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good
night. Okay, bye-bye.